Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
This taken in at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
They'll start the drive with Washington. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. And they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, they picked up the first down, but I was going to say I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot, and it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
It wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that bone.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
To the air again, it's Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Cousins.
Right back to Cook for another completion.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
That goes for a gain of 31. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run with Cook. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
As long as you get the air attack that's gotten him down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins, his 11th touchdown of the year.
And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Ready.
The first down throw for Winston. Complete over the middle to Hardy.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Winston. Flush to his right, and this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Well, the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On second down, Cook. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll run it. Here's Cook.
And he will have a Vikings first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. But the Vikings at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Scramble drill there, partner. Some teams have some pretty good rules for it. Others are just saying, make sure you work your way back into the sight lines of your quarterback, even if you take the play deep. And that's what they attempted to do on that one, unable to connect.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They go with Washington to begin the drive. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dwayne Washington, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year.
And the Saints have moved out in front.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Cousins on 1st down. Lets it fly for Thielen. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Cousins. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The kick by Joseph is good, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. To throw on 2nd and 6, Winston. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Two fantastic games coming up to wrap up Week 4, the first weekend in October. Tonight, the Chiefs and Buccaneers from Tampa. That's a rematch of Super Bowl 55, of course. And then Monday night, rematch of last year's NFC Championship game, the Rams and Niners from Santa Clara. Coverage on that one, 8:15 Eastern.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. It's Cousins on the sneak. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
The more and more that we broadcast games, the more I realize how much this game is about the eyes. And in this case, they got fooled because the defense was checking out the eyes of the back, thinking he was getting the ball. Should have been looking at the QB, shouldn't they?
A little bit of a surprise indeed, and he was able to get forward for that 1 yard.
Kentavious Street there on the stop.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. On 1st and 10, Winston.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Winston. That pass is caught by Hardy.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Now a run up the middle with Washington. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, and Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
To throw, Winston. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Adam Troutman
from 6 yards away. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Luntz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, Luntz to kick it off.
Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that drive back to the locker room just a little more animated.
First down now, but that clock rolling. To throw is Cousins.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
A.J. Boye with a pick.
And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jameis to throw it.
The left side complete to Troutman.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll throw again. Winston. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now Winston. Steps away to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. So, all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Minnesota.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Cousins will try and throw, and this one is caught. So they come up with a 2-point conversion, and that makes this a 1-point game now. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
So here are the Saints to take over. They've got the lead right now. You remember last week they defeated the Carolina Panthers here. Good momentum.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Winston
to the right side and complete to Thomas. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Here's Winston.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
To the air again with Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball. They leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Winston's throw taken in by Landry.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
Up the middle they go, Washington. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Winston. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And now out comes Minnesota.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Very nice catch there by Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the game. After just 2 seasons in the league. As a rookie, 2nd-team All-Pro, and then in his 2nd year, was 2nd in the league in yardage. This guy continues to grow and get better with every game.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. 1st down, here's the run with Cook.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Here's Cousins.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
third down. Here's a run by Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Cousins on the keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. 3 tight ends up front here. Third and goal. Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Vikings are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They had that lead that is now gone. It is completely gone. How does that affect the psyche? Or am I reading into that too much? They should be okay still?
No, you're not reading into it too much at all. You've got to wonder what the psyche is of a team, because once you build up a lead and things are rolling pretty well, you don't expect it to change. And for it to change this dramatically, and now they're the team doing the chasing, yeah, you want to check out where they are mentally and whether or not they have it in them to come back. We'll soon find out.
Yeah, they're on their heels a bit right now. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, third and long.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. Welcome back now here in London. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking it about the 36. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. Cousins gives way to Cook. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
66 yards on the ground for him so far. 2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
third down. Dalvin Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get an important score there to extend their lead here this fourth quarter. So an important drive for them there. They're not home, but momentum, Charles, definitely in their favor now.
And I like the point you just made. They're not home yet, but a 1-point game, and if you kick the extra point, make it an 8-point game. Only one score, but you're right. Momentum definitely in their favor right now.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
On first, here's Washington. No gain on the play there, second down. Throwing, Winston. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Winston to Thomas, and it's a New Orleans first down.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Like somebody thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Winston. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now come the Vikings.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield.
Winston and the Saints now
down by 8. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They need a touchdown and, of course, the 2-point conversion as well. Here's Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. Winston to throw.
Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Now Winston. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the...
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints.
Adam Troutman,
a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Saints have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
Winston. That is incomplete. And a failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Cousins just going to take this one down to a knee and end it.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles.